Hello, so I'm just editing this video and realised it needs a bit more of an intro. So, first of all, wow, kind of went out the window with all the videos, didn't it? Oh well, I've got videos coming, that's all good. But today I want to talk about something which needs to happen in World Autism Awareness Week. I was approached by someone who I know that you'll get introduced to in a second to showcase something that they're launching for World Autism Awareness Week that supports the National Autistic Society, and it's to do with sensory stuff. And I could keep blabbing on, or I could just introduce you to Lauren. So 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the founder of the Sensory Box company.
And let's explain about how we met. We met through the autism show the first time I did it.
Yeah.
I was introduced to you. You used to work with the National Autistic Society, and
Yes.
now you've left, you've got a baby, and you started this up. And I am going to unbox one of these sensory boxes, and we're just going to chat about why it happened and stuff like that. Cool. When did you first have the idea to do something like this?
So when I went on maternity leave with my first baby, I decided to go to, as lots of new mums do, go to baby classes, and found that sensory classes were a really popular thing for people to take their babies to, from kind of newborn age all the way up to toddler age. And found that there was a waiting list and all that kind of thing. So eventually when he was about 5 months old, got to our first sensory class.
Cool.
They had loads of toys and lights and things for us to play with, and it was really, really good. But came home and realised that none of the toys I really had for him could really emulate the sensory classes. So went online, had a look, and couldn't really find anything that was affordable. Other than buying things in bulk. So I got talking to a few mums that I knew from Facebook groups and things like that, and they were like, yeah, I'd buy, if you bought a load of things, I'd buy some off you. And so kind of the idea came from there. And having worked for the National Autistic Society previously in their marketing team, I was aware of kind of sensory toys and sensory seekers looking for these kind of products as well. So did a lot of research and surveyed autistic people to try and work out what should go in these boxes. And obviously you've helped contribute to these too.
And we're about to find out.
Yes, so here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's just tissue paper at the top.
Like that alone, I'm going to get distracted now because tissue paper. Yes, right. So this is the little guide, and this is the current one that's going to be on nicer paper, isn't it?
Yes, so that's the draft at the moment. We've got a few extra tweaks. It goes to print this afternoon. But that guide kind of, when we surveyed autistic people and their families, we found that 88% of those respondents wanted a guide in there as to how to use these kind of toys and items. So it's got everything in there around actually what sensory differences are.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that first page already is
pretty text heavy. And then it's got kind of a breakdown of what's included in your box. Now on the website, when you order these, you can swap out some of the items. So the guide is kind of a one size fits all. So sometimes items will be included in here that aren't in the guide, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can pick the items. If, for example, you don't like a slinky, you don't like the way they look or the way they move, you can swap that out when you order it
There's
online.
a slinky in it.
There is a slinky in there.
Right. So let's just go through one item at a time and talk about sensory stuff. In fact, right, this is actually a really good place to start.
Yeah.
The National Autistic Society. So this is being launched as the World Autism Awareness Week box, isn't it?
It's a supporter of World Autism Awareness Week box.
And in doing that, you are donating a percentage of the box to the National Autistic Society.
Yeah.
And that's how much you...
It's 10% of the
10%.
box. Yeah.
First item I've come across, fidget cube. I love fidget cubes. Oh, see, this is the
I
problem.
use one all the time as well, and I'm not autistic. I find them really useful to concentrate, and they're really tactile.
I've just realised going through all this, what's going to happen is I'm going to pick up something and then not being able to continue on to the next thing. So I'm going to have to limit myself. And let's just hide everything around the corner.
Yeah,
as we go through.
hide it on the back.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I was looking and doing research on items, these came up as quite a popular item, especially for younger autistic children because of the way they feel. They kind of feel like marshmallowy. You probably can't get a sense of that on the camera.
Yeah.
But you stretch them, tie them up, like all sorts. So they seem to really appeal to a broad spectrum of people. Even my baby really, really likes them. But yeah, they're just really nice to touch and stretch.
Yeah, it didn't feel how I expected it to feel.
Yeah.
But it feels so nice. Right, so I can look in the guide and I can find out.
So in the guide, you've got a little description of how you can use it, and then kind of what it's useful for. So like if something's useful specifically for concentration or calming down. Yeah, so concentration, that one's really good. I found that one and the fidget cube really useful when I was writing this guide, actually, to sit there and read through what I'd written and sit there pulling and things like that to boost my concentration.
This one, I might have to keep this one in my hand. Oh, again, this one. Oh.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, what I do, I tend to be one of these people that's like, I don't need sensory toys and stuff. I can get on with stuff. And then as soon as I feel anything like this, I'm like, why aren't I doing this properly? Like, all the time.
Yeah, so that one's really nice to throw from like hand to hand and feel the...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, to feel the strands of it.
Of course, couldn't have a sensory box without a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
I can't do anything with these, but do you know Leslie from NAS?
Yeah,
Leslie
she's
Doll?
really good at tricks. Yeah.
So every time she's appeared on
Yeah.
my vlog, I've always made her put it on her
Yeah.
nose. I think as well, now that it's kind of, the craze has calmed down, it's a lot more acceptable to be like using them and not get in trouble for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. You may have heard of the product Chewy Gem. I will be doing a whole video on Chewy Gem soon. I've been meaning to do that for ages, but these Chewy Gem stuff I've been playing about with for a few weeks, and I'm not going to give you this one to hold out. In fact, it's not going to enter my mouth yet. But again, this is something that I thought, oh no, I won't like this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realised that whenever I live stream, or whenever I do anything, but I only notice it when I'm on live stream because of course I've got a mirror of myself.
Yeah.
I will just pick up like a piece of Lego.
Yeah.
And start chomping on Lego.
Yeah.
Which obviously
Probably not good for your teeth.
Exactly, shouldn't be done, especially the fact I have a false tooth.
Yeah.
But so I really fell in love with stuff like this, and I'm really loving the visual stimulation of this
the
pattern.
colours in it are
I'll
really
do a zoom
nice.
in on this.
I think with those ones, they're subtle enough that you wouldn't necessarily know that it was Chewy jewellery.
No.
So I've actually been wearing one for the past week just to see how it feels.
Kind of looks like plastic as opposed to chewy stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I think a lot of people might, especially older, maybe autistic adults, might get maybe a little bit embarrassed if they are chewers. And don't want to wear anything that's obviously chewable.
I think this
but I
subtle
think
enough.
that bracelet is quite subtle, and does the job. Obviously, it's for moderate chewing. Yeah.
Right, and then the last item in here is a slinky.
Slinky.
And who does not love a slinky? First of all, the rainbow pattern is satisfying enough, but I've not had one of these since I was... Oh, I forgot. I forgot how brilliant they are. It's going down the stairs with them as well. That's the cool
it's
thing
really
too.
fun. Yeah, I think just moving it from hand to hand, that weighted feeling is really nice. Yeah. So that's basically the box.
That is the box. So
yeah,
you've got
7 items.
Well,
so these ones and well, 8 if you
eight
count the tissue
items.
paper.
And all that is for how much?
So it's £22.95 with postage included.
UK only.
Yes.
For this one.
Yeah.
This time, you never know in the future.
Hopefully we'll expand to international. But that's our introductory price for them for World Autism Awareness Week 2019.
And it's definitely good value for money. Like, you did a lot of surveying on.
Yeah,
on
exactly. And the Chewy Gem bracelet alone is worth £9.95.
Well, there you go.
So
then.
that you'd have to pay postage on top of that, but yeah. So it's a pretty good value box. We've had some really good feedback so far.
I would pay £20 just for a slinky, so it's really good. Cool. Well, thank you very much for all of this. Is there anything else that you think needs to be said about all of this then?
So the boxes are aimed at anyone age 8 and upwards.
Cool.
So we do advise if it's a younger user of the items that they have adult supervision, or if it's a particularly vulnerable adult, for example, adult supervision as well. And all of these items do have the potential to be choking hazards, so just keep an eye on things, and if they do start to deteriorate and stuff, get in touch and we'll see what we can do about that. We always try and make sure that items are replaced if they do break too easily, too quickly.
Even if you don't think you like sensory stuff, give it a try, and give it a try with this, because you've got a range of stuff just to work out what kind of things appeal to you, what things don't appeal to you. Like, I'm lucky, I like everything in this box, but in the research stage, what was one of the things? You had something in it which I was like, I would... Feather.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't touch anything in the box had there been a feather in that.
And if you decide that there's something in the box when you order it that you want to swap out, then just tick the box on the checkout and we can get that sorted for you. We've got a range of things that you could replace it with, including foil blankets, feathers, if you like feathers, flashing balls, all sorts. So, yeah.
Cool. Here we go. Here's another selling point. You don't even have to be autistic.
No,
just anyone.
If you just want to fidget, I'm a nail biter, so these kind of things are really useful for me anyway. And obviously having a charity donation on the box is just an extra plus. But this kind of box would be perfect for me or anyone else who's a nail biter or just loves to fidget. People with ADHD, like all sorts of reasons why these kind of things might be useful. I would say around if they're being bought for a child, I don't know if it's relevant to include, but check with the child's school if they're looking to take in the items with them, just in case the schools have certain policies around items. I know chewy bracelets and things are quite subtle, but it may be that they've got an anti-jewellery policy at school that you might need to check with and get special approval for.
Now you've seen inside the box, you can see why I could not share this. It's a very good introduction to everything in the world of sensory, and it's one that I've not really delved into before on this channel specifically. I really think this is a good starter box, and one thing I am all about is supporting local businesses. Lauren actually lives in Nottingham, like that's why I went round to her house, because it's only 15 minutes away from mine. And one thing I really wanted you to see was kind of the behind the scenes, so here's just a little clip showing you how Lauren does it all. So this is all the behind the scenes. We've been joined by an extra person.
This is Joey. This is kind of where all the magic happens in terms of all the sensory boxes. So we've got our autism ones and some of the stock ready to go once we put the leaflets in, so they're ready to ship out when we start orders on Monday. And then we've got all of our items for the sensory boxes for babies as well here as well. So some of the items you can swap out on the autism box are you can have a foil blanket, flashing ball, you can basically have any of these, so rattles, bell rattles, scarves, and Connor's favourite, feathers. Woohoo!
I don't know who would want them. I thought that would be interesting to show. I'm going to hand over to me and Lauren again to close out the video, so back to that. That's everything to do with the box. Thank you very much for giving it me. This video is #gifted for that reason. And yeah, link will be in the description. Comment down below what your favourite sensory experience is so far, whether you're a chewer, whether you're a feeler. That's a dodgy term, isn't it? Tactile seeker.
Yeah.
Or does that sound even worse?
Tactile's just touching, isn't it?
Yeah, tactile seeker, all that stuff. And let me know if you actually want a video on how autism sensory system works, because I've never done that in 2.5 years on YouTube, so probably should. So thank you once again for having me.
No problem.
And thank you very much for coming on to the channel to explain about the products, and thank you very much for watching. Bye!